He comes every night, and when he finishes counting, one of us disappears. The boy sat near the wooden fence, head down, whispering numbers. 6, 7, 8. The cowboy stopped. Were you counting, kid? No answer, just silence. The boy's fingers trembled slightly. 9. The cowboy stepped closer. Hey, he said softly, look at me. Slowly, the boy lifted his head. His eyes were wide, terrified, like he hadn't slept in days. He comes every night, the boy whispered. The cowboy frowned. Who does? The boy leaned in closer. His voice dropped. The man who counts us. A cold wind passed through the ranch. The lantern nearby flickered. The cowboy gave a small scoff. Ain't nobody coming here, he said. You're just scared. The boy shook his head fast. No, he said. He walked between the beds. The cowboy's expression changed slightly. And count us. Silence. The boy's lips trembled, and every time he finishes, he stopped, couldn't say it. The cowboy narrowed his eyes. What happens? The boy looked down again, voice barely there. One of us is gone by morning. The cowboy stood still. For a moment, he didn't speak, didn't move. Then he sighed. Kids run away, he said. That's all. But the boy grabbed his sleeve. Hard. No, he whispered. They don't run. A pause. They don't get the chance. The wind howled louder now. The lantern flickered again. And then a sound, soft, slow, footsteps, coming from behind the bunkhouse. The boy's face turned pale. His grip tightened. He's early tonight. The cowboy turned. Nothing, just darkness. Still, something felt wrong, very wrong. The cowboy didn't believe it, not fully. But those footsteps, they felt real. He slowly turned toward the bunkhouse. Dark, silent, too silent. Stay here, he told the boy. But the boy shook his head quickly. No, don't leave me alone. The fear in his voice wasn't normal. It was the kind that comes from seeing something too many times. The cowboy paused and nodded. Fine. Stay close. They walked together, step by step. The wooden floor creaked beneath their boots. The lantern flickered in the boy's shaking hand. Then they heard it again. Step, step, step. Inside, the cowboy's hand moved to his gun. Slowly, carefully. He pushed the door open. Creak. Inside the bunkhouse. Children were asleep. Or at least, they looked asleep. The room was dim. Only moonlight through the window. And then, a shadow moved. Not outside. Inside. Between the beds. Tall. Slow. Unnatural. The boy gasped quietly. I told you. The cowboy froze. His eyes locked on the figure. It walked from one bed to another, pausing, like it was counting. 1, 2, 3. A low whisper echoed. The cowboy's grip tightened. For the voice didn't sound human. Cold. Empty. 5. The boy started shaking. The cowboy stepped forward. Hey! He shouted. The shadow stopped. Slowly, it turned, but there was no face. Just darkness. You're not supposed to see me, it said. The cowboy pulled his gun. Step away from those kids. Silence. Then the shadow smiled, not with a face, but with something worse. You're too late. The lantern flickered wildly, and suddenly the shadow vanished. Gone, like it was never there. The cowboy rushed forward, checking the beds. 1, 2, 3. His breath stopped. Where's the sixth kid? The boy's voice broke behind him. He finished counting. The cowboy moved fast, checking every bed, every corner. Nothing. No sign of the sixth child, like he had never been there. That's not possible, the cowboy muttered. The boy stood frozen behind him, tears forming in his eyes. "It happens every time," he whispered. "No one believes us until it's too late." The cowboy turned sharply. "Who was he?" The boy swallowed. "Tommy," he said. "He slept right there." He pointed to the empty bed. The blanket still warm, still shaped like someone had been lying there just moments ago. The cowboy's chest tightened. This wasn't normal. This wasn't kids running away. Something was taking them. Something no one could see. "Has anyone else seen it?" the cowboy asked. The boy shook his head. "They say we're lying," he said, "or dreaming." His voice broke. "But we hear him every night." The cowboy looked around again. The room felt wrong now. Cold, like something was still watching. Then his eyes stopped on the wall. Scratches, deep, messy, like someone had tried to claw their way out. He stepped closer, ran his fingers over them. Fresh, not old. "Who made these?" he asked. The boy hesitated, then whispered, "The ones who try to fight back." Silence. The cowboy's jaw clenched. This wasn't just fear anymore. This was real, and it had been happening for a long time. He stood up slowly. "All right," he said. The boy looked up. "We're not waiting for it again." The cowboy's voice turned cold. "We're hunting it." The boy's eyes widened. "You can't," he whispered. "Why not?" The boy stepped back slightly, because for the first time, the fear in his eyes wasn't just for himself. Because it doesn't live here. A pause. It takes him somewhere else. The cowboy frowned. "Where?" The boy pointed toward the hills. Dark, silent, endless, where no one ever comes back from. The hills were darker than the night. No wind, no sound, just silence. The cowboy rode slowly, the boy sitting behind him, holding tight. "We shouldn't be here," the boy whispered. The cowboy didn't stop. "Something's taking kids," he said. "I'm ending it." As they reached the rocky path, the horse suddenly stopped, refused to move, snorted in fear. The cowboy frowned. Then he saw it. Footprints. Small, barefoot, dozens of them, leading into a narrow canyon. The boy's grip tightened. "They walk them," he whispered. "After he counts." The cowboy dismounted, gun ready. Step by step, he moved forward. The canyon opened into something unexpected. An old mine, abandoned, or at least that's what it looked like. The entrance was dark, too dark, like it swallowed light. The boy shook his head. "This is where they go." The cowboy stepped closer. Then a sound, faint, echoing from inside. Children, whispering, crying. The cowboy's eyes hardened. "They're alive." Relief hit, but it didn't last, because suddenly a voice echoed from deep inside the mine. Cold, empty. "You shouldn't have come." The cowboy froze. The same voice. From the bunkhouse. The boy stepped back, terrified. He lives here. The darkness inside the mine shifted, moving, breathing, watching. The cowboy raised his gun. "Show yourself." Silence. Then a figure slowly formed inside the darkness. Not fully human, not fully shadow. "They belong to me now," it whispered. The cowboy's jaw tightened. Not anymore. The thing moved closer, and as it did, the truth hit him. This wasn't just a man. This was something else. Something that had been here, long before the town. The cowboy stepped inside the mine, gun raised. The air turned cold instantly. Behind him, the boy hesitated. "Don't go too far," he whispered. The cowboy didn't reply. He followed the sound. Soft crying, echoing through the tunnels. The deeper he went, the darker it became. Then he saw them, children, huddled together, weak, scared, alive. "Hey!" The cowboy said softly, "I'm getting you out." Some of them looked up. Hope flickered in their eyes. But before he could reach them, the darkness moved. Fast. The shadow figure appeared behind him. "You think you can take them?" it whispered. The cowboy turned instantly. Bang! The shot echoed, but it did nothing. The bullet passed through it. Like smoke, the cowboy stepped back. This wasn't a normal fight. The thing laughed. A hollow, broken sound. "I am the one who counts," it said. "And I decide who stays and who disappears." The children cried harder. The boy at the entrance shouted, "Don't fight it." The cowboy clenched his fists. "Then how do I stop it?" Silence. Then the boy said something strange. "Don't let it finish counting." The cowboy froze. The shadow tilted its head. Too late, it raised its hand and began. 1. The air grew heavier. The children screamed. 2. The cowboy's heart pounded. 3. He looked around, desperate, thinking. 4. Then his eyes landed on something. Marks on the wall. Numbers. Scratched. Over and over. He understood. 5. The cowboy turned and fired at the wall. Bang! The markings shattered. The counting stopped. The shadow screamed. For the first time, it felt pain. The scream echoed through the mind. Loud. Inhuman. The shadow twisted, breaking apart like smoke in the wind. "You broke the count," it hissed. The cowboy didn't stop. He fired again. Bang! More numbers shattered from the walls. Each shot weaker than before. But enough. The children covered their ears. The ground trembled. The shadow flickered violently. "You don't understand," it whispered. "I keep balance." The cowboy stepped forward. "You take children," he said coldly. "That ain't balance." The shadow let out one final broken sound. Then it collapsed. Gone. Just darkness left behind. Silence followed. Heavy but different. The fear was gone. The cowboy lowered his gun, turned to the children. "It's over," he said. This time it was true. Moments later, they stepped out of the mine, into the first light of dawn. The boy stood there waiting, eyes wide. "You stopped it?" he asked. The cowboy gave a small nod. The boy looked at the children behind him, then back at the hills. For the first time, he smiled. Back at the ranch, beds were full again. No empty spaces. No counting. Just quiet. Safe. The cowboy stood outside, watching the sunrise. The boy walked up beside him. "Will it come back?" he asked. The cowboy looked at the horizon, then shook his head. "No," he said, "not anymore." A pause. "Because now someone's watching back." Some monsters don't hide in the dark. They wait to be counted. But this time, the count ended.